الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا صلى الله عليه وسلم عبده ورسوله اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كلام الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار أعاذنا الله وإياكم من النار. يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: إنما الأعمال بالنيات وإنما لكل امرئ ما نوى، فمن كانت هجرته إلى الله ورسوله فهجرته إلى الله ورسوله، ومن كانت هجرته إلى دنيا يصيبها أو امرأة ينكحها فهجرته إلى ما هاجر إليه. متفق عليه. Alhamdulillah, who made us survive 2020. And today is the first day of 2021. And it's the best opportunity to renew your intention. As Muslims, we are required to renew our intentions every moment, every day. At the beginning of every deed, every action you do, you have to ask yourself, what's my intention? Deeds are not acceptable unless they have intentions. This hadith that I mentioned is in every book. The beginning of every book is the book of intentions. And since we're starting a new year, it's a good time for renewing intention. How to do that? I'll explain that, but after I tell you one of the most important stories, one of the most important stories that happened in Islam. One of the most important events that they've done an entire calendar according to it. But in this story, which we all know, I will only zoom in for two people, two of the Sahaba, only two. The story is the story of the immigration. When the Muslims immigrated from Mecca, where they've been tortured, to the Medina, when they established the first Islamic city. And the people that I will mention are, the first one is Abdurrahman ibn Auf. Who is Abdurrahman ibn Auf? Abdurrahman ibn Auf is one of the best of the best of the Sahaba. He's one of the first, the 10 who are given the glad tidings of Jannah, paradise. In al-Ashara al-Mubashshirun al-Jannah. He is what Uthman radiallahu anhu, he asked him to be the Khalifa after him. But he didn't want it. He made dua that he will die before that day, and it happened. He is the one who was in the committee to nominate the Khalifa. And he is the high rank among the Sahaba. Abdurrahman ibn Auf was one of the richest people in Mecca before Hijrah, and even after a while, after they did the immigration. To give you the example, it's like Jeff Bezos today, this country. He's like one of the richest people. When he died, actually, some of the books, one of them is the Alam al-Tabi'in, one of the books that was mentioned, the treasures that most of the Sahaba that left, one of them was like when they start to compare it with the gold, because they have only two currencies at this time, dinar and dirham. One is gold and one is silver. If you got the value of them, the value of gold, it's similar to billions today. Anyway, he left all of that. He was one of the richest people. He left everything. When they immigrated from Mecca, they left their life. He was rich with billions. The moment he did the immigration, he became zero. He doesn't have zero in his account. Literally nothing. They were not allowed to take anything. Only their clothes that they have, and even they don't take their swords or weapons or anything. So they did the immigration with the minimum. He took their money. When he made the intention to the immigration, he knows that this will happen. But he had a higher intention, which is to follow the Prophet ﷺ and to do the immigration for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When the Muhajirin that came, the immigrants who came from Mecca to Medina, since they came without nothing, they didn't have anything to live with, the Prophet ﷺ started to couple people, which we call the Ikha, the brotherhood. So they did the mu'akha. So every one of the Muhajirin became a brother close to someone. And see the beauty of this immigration. One of the best immigration lessons we take. People that usually immigration happen, they fight and they take over. But when they come, the people who were receiving the immigrants, the Ahl al-Medina, They actually split their money. And the Prophet ﷺ is doing this, coupling according to the status. It's like the same status. Like, so Abdurrahman ibn Auf went to one of the, Sa'd ibn Rabi'a, one of the rich people in Medina at this time as well. And when he reached there, as all the Ahl al-Medina did, he told them, here's my money. It's split half between me and you. He was married to two. He said, I will divorce one of them, and after I die, you can marry them. So Abdurrahman ibn Auf answered. He said, بارك الله لك في أهلك ومالك وولدك. May Allah give you barakah, your wealth, your family. But I don't need any of that. Just show me the way to the market. He was a successful trader. And he was able to re-establish his business again, became rich again, got married. This is one story. So his first intention, definitely, is to follow the Prophet. We lose everything. But he didn't stay day and night, just the mosque, memorizing the Quran, which is fine. There are people that hafiz, there are people that their mission is to narrate the hadith, like Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, he was poor. He stayed all the time behind the Prophet. He didn't have like normal work, just to collect the hadith. That's why we have all the hadiths today. But he has work in his life to get money and establish himself. And he told them, Barakallahu laka fi malika wa ahlik. But the best sustenance is that the Muslim will get from his work, his own work. And we know all the story from Abdurrahman ibn Auf, and after that he came from Badr. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala actually, the people who did the hijrah, they have a status that no one ever will have. Even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, لا يستوي, they're not equal. Those who became Muslim before the Fath, and those who became after. And also the Muhajirin as-Sabiqeen, those are the people, the highest rank, that they did the immigration, the first one. And the people who invited them and hosted them. And then we come after that. Anyone comes after that, they say, oh Allah forgive us, and those who are before us. So this is a status that anyone else has, the hijrah. The second story, which the narration didn't say the name much, but he's known of the immigrant of Qais. So there is a person who wanted to get married from a Muslim woman. Her name, she's famous with Qais. But she told him, I will not be able to marry you unless you do the immigration with us. I'm going to immigrate with the Prophet ﷺ, immigrate with the Prophet ﷺ. And there's no way that you can marry me unless you immigrate with us. And because he's in love with her, he did the immigration with them. Lost all his money, the same thing like Abdurrahman ibn Auf. But he just did it because he loves Qais. And they got married. So how at this time they were confused. We left everything behind because we went with the Prophet ﷺ and to establish the religion. What's the difference between us and Muhajir and Qais? So the Prophet ﷺ said the hadith that I've said. All these are rewarded or based on intentions. And you will get whatever you intended for. So it doesn't matter what you're doing, how it does look like. It's based on your intention. And even the other hadith that the Prophet ﷺ, when he said, the first three that the hellfire will be burned to them are actually the best three deeds. One of them is Hafiz, who memorized the Quran and actually teaching the Quran. But his intention wasn't for the sake of Allah. It's the best teacher. Teachers taught the Quran and memorized the Quran. And Allah actually confirmed. He said, yes, you memorized and you told the Quran for generations. It could have been very good sadaqah jariyah. Intention was not. So the good act is actually the best of the acts. The second was once giving charity, which one of the second best acts. The martyr who died in for the sake of Allah, but he didn't like Allah because his intention was to get famous people to celebrate. So the Prophet continued the hadith. All deeds that you do, based on your intention. Doesn't matter what you're doing, it's based on intention. Either memorizing Quran or doing business. It's based on your intention. وَإِنَّمَا لِكُلِّ امْرِئٍ مَا نَوَى. You will get the reward according to your intention. It doesn't matter what you've done. Intention. Your intention is the thing that matters. فَمَنْ كَانَتْ هِجْرَتُهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. This is the point. If your immigration was for the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger, then the Prophet repeated again, then your immigration is for Allah and His Messenger. Now, the generic thing. وَمَنْ كَانَتْ هِجْرَتُهُ إِلَى دُنْيَا يُصِيبُهَا أَوْ امْرَأَةٍ يَنكِحُهَا. Which is the main two things for everyone that do is to get something worldly in this life. It doesn't matter. More money, bigger house, better life, or to get married. وَامْرَأَةٍ يَنكِحُهَا. The Prophet ﷺ didn't repeat because it doesn't matter what you have. If it's not the first two, Allah and His Messenger, doesn't matter. Then your immigration too, whatever you intended to. This hadith has been the example of everything you do. And then the Prophet ﷺ explained how can we have the intention. It's easy to say, but it's actually, he said in another hadith, it's also muttafaq alayh. Some people, they don't ignore this hadith or they misunderstood it or whatever. But actually, I took a training sometime. It was actually exactly how the Prophet ﷺ taught us how to do it. It might not seem related, but it is. So the Prophet ﷺ gave us one example in this life, marriage. So the Prophet ﷺ, he said, تنكح المرأة لأربع لمالها حسبها جمالها أو دينها فاظفر بذات الدين تربت يديك. Prophet ﷺ said, intentions in marriage for people is different. And he's not saying about the sunnah, no, he's saying people in general. And he said the permissible ways of marriage, their intention is not the thing that's sunnah, but their intentions for marriage. Either they marry someone because their wealth, so they want to share this money and they become rich. Their status, so they become closer to their parents, for example, if they're famous and they become famous. Or because of beauty, he likes someone, just beauty, he's attracted to her beauty, so he got married to her. Or the third one, and he mentioned because at the end, because most people they ignore it. Said, or for religion. And then he put our focus on the thing that people ignore. He said, if you want to be successful, your intention should be the religion. So if you're married because of something else, believe me, if you're married for the religion and for the sake of Allah, we will not see what is happening in your marriage today. Because anything will happen to be for the sake of Allah. You start going back to the basics. Why I'm married? It's for the sake of Allah. So anything can be solved. But if you're married for beauty, beauty will go. Wealth might go. Status is my goal. But what stays is the hereafter, is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's why having happiness in this life is according to the intention. Why do you need something? Because if your intention is something in this world and you lose it, you get the grief. You get the sadness of losing it. But if your intention is higher than that, this is the real intention. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. وقال ربكم ادعوني أستجب لكم إن الذين يستكبرون عن عبادتي سيدخلون جهنم داخلين ادعوا الله أنتم مؤمنون به. Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. So let's go back again. How can we do our intentions today? Today is the first day of the year. So as I said, this hadith is the example of how to put your intention. I was in a training a while back, and the coach, they said to be able to set priorities and to avoid interruptions or being interrupted is to set your intentions. And the word like the first time here, but they said intentions. Literally, they said intentions. And they started mentioning multiple intentions. And they said, so it was a kind of practice. Take a piece of paper, and whatever I say, and you feel this is one of your intentions, write it down. So they start saying, having a financial stability, having emotional stability, becoming rich, having like a cause to be able to help others, having fitness to be fit, having wellness, having mental wellness, and multiple things. Having a better house, this is your intention. If your intention is to become successful at work, your intention is to get a high rank at work, your intention, and so on and so on and so on. You mentioned about 20 things. And people start writing. At the end, they said, the last thing, anything we haven't mentioned, and you think it's important, and this is your intention, write it down. This is when I start writing myself. Then they said the exercises, like most people, they wrote a lot of things. Yeah, I need financial stability, I need a better house, I need to be able to get rich. And then they said you have to put it into only three. This is exactly what the Prophet ﷺ said. He said, those are the intentions of people they do. They get married. The coach said, those are the intentions for people in this life. Those are the things that people they do for this life. Now, you need to decide on three. And then the training is saying those three, you should put them in front of you. And anything else that doesn't serve those three, just ignore it. One of them was like to be relaxed, to retire early, all this stuff that people don't think of. So this is, whatever you're going to do now is not serving those top three, stop doing it. Or if it's conflicting with those three and you show that then it should be at least one of those. So you start renewing your intentions. After you do those three intentions, you put your goals, which is weird because I thought that goal comes before intention, but they said no, intention is the first thing before any act. SubhanAllah. The Prophet said it 1500 years ago. And then you put your goal. So for example, if your intention is to have a better afterlife, then your goal is to enter paradise. Then you put the plan. Now you need a plan to reach your goal that your intention was for. What's the plan? Definitely avoid harm, doing the 5 pillars. But it's not only that. If you think about it, as a man, you're actually responsible. If you're not even married, you're responsible for your parents, of your sister. This is the Islam. They put it this way. Responsible financially, and we have to live a better life. That's why you work. So I do work to support my family so that I do my obligation to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I enter paradise because my intention is to have a better life. When you have work, we agree, you work because you want to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and do your obligation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered us, which is the third principle of Islam, is to perfect your work. When you go to work and just do the minimum, it's a sin. Just enough work so that you don't get fired. This is not the Islam. Islam has the ihsan, perfection. Since you are need to work so that you can enter Jannah, as we explained, you need to do your work perfectly. So when you study the courses to improve yourself at work, getting higher, it's not about financial. Because Money is not, if you have all the money, but you can't benefit from it, it's useless. Money is whatever it buys. So it is, I'm doing my work perfectly to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I'm taking training for something, it's actually I'm taking this training, I'm spending this time, it's for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is how you pay attention. Today is the first day of the year. What's your intention? You need to renew your intention. Why do you wake up in the morning and do your work? Why are you doing what you do? Put it in front of you. This is your intention. This is the goal is to enter paradise. After we die, all what we've done here is nothing. It's the real life. The hayawan is the afterlife, the eternal. And this should be our goal. Whatever we're doing should always be towards this goal, which is our life. Most people they think it's only praying and doing qiyam, great things, but the Rahman now also, in addition to those, he was living his life. He's a creator, a successful businessman. He knows what he's doing the best. He's investing. Why are we doing the work? To be able to support the community, build mosques, be charity, support our parents, support our families. The best sadaqah jariyah is your children. If you've been able to build the right children who are being able to be dua, so example of Islam. People today, they know the Islam from famous people that they contribute. And this is what the Sahaba did all the time. The first medical, like Ibn Haytham and other people, they were Muslims. They were not staying day and night only in the mosques and doing prayers. No. They contributed because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked us for perfection in everything we do. Allah يحب إذا عمل أحدكم عملا أن يتقنه. Al-Ihsan, perfection, is the third pillar of Islam. Iman. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم اغفر لنا اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين. اللهم اقسم لنا من خشيتك ما تحول به بيننا وبين معصيتك ومن طاعتك ما تبلغنا به جنتك ومن اليقين ما تهون به علينا مصائب الدنيا ومتعنا اللهم بأسماعنا وأبصارنا وقواتنا أبدا ما أحييتنا واجعله الوارث منا واجعل ثأرنا على من ظلمنا. اللهم ولا تجعل مصيبتنا في ديننا. اللهم ولا تجعل الدنيا أكبر همنا ولا مبلغ علمنا ولا إلى النار مصيرنا. اللهم واجعل الجنة هي دارنا. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم أجمعين.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قامت الصلاة قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
استووا تواصوا. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. والعصر إن الإنسان
لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.